2022 has been a landmark year for electric vehicles in India. Many new cars have been introduced across various segments, but the one that has perhaps generated the maximum interest is the Tata Tiago EV. The most affordable electric from the homegrown automaker has garnered more than 20,000 bookings since its launch a few months ago, and now, just before the year ends, we've got our hands on this silent hatch. The face of the Tata Tiago EV looks quite modern as well as appealing. You get many Tata Motors elements like the tri-arrow pattern here on this new grille as well as down below. The car also gets projector headlamps, fog lamps as well as DRLs right here. So yes, looks quite appealing. Then you have this nice midnight plum color. Looks even better with the contrast roof on this top trim. Almost gives you that Tata Motors Dark Edition feel. The blue elements are visible all over the car that tell you that this one is an EV. It gets 14-inch steel wheels, and on the higher trims you get these nicer looking hyper style wheels. Apart from midnight plum, there are 4 other colors you can choose from, including the signature teal blue seen on many other electric cars from the brand. The rear also looks quite appealing with these brake lights integrated nicely into the spoiler up here. You also get LED tail lamps. Apart from that, this Tiago EV badging looks nice. And yes, on this top XZ Plus Tech Lux trim, you also get an electric tailgate opening. Now let's get to the cabin of the Tiago EV. Tata Motors says that the idea behind making a car like the Tiago EV is to not just give you an affordable electric car, but also to give you a hatchback that feels quite premium. And that is the case with the Tiago EV once you come inside this car, especially on this top XZ Plus Tech Lux variant, which is the only one that gets leatherette upholstery as well as leatherette on the steering wheel. Apart from that too, the car feels nice with these teal blue accents on the AC vents. You get a digital cluster that gives you a lot of information. The buttons are laid out nicely, very approachable, so you can, all your functions you can control very easily. Controls on the steering wheel as well. And yes, you also get the Harman touchscreen system on many trims, even the lower trims, which is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, although it is wired. And then you also get the Tata Motors Z Connect app, which comes with the 45 connectivity features. So you can do a lot of functions through your smartphone, even remotely. And you can also do the same thing through a smartwatch. So yes, this is a connected car in every sense. So you do feel quite premium when you use a vehicle like the Tiago EV. Z Connect is a standard feature on the car, while you also get things like start-stop button, height adjustable driver's seat and cruise control depending on the variant you choose to buy. Ergonomically though, the cabin could have been better as there's limited storage space all around, especially the door pockets, which are quite narrow. The second row is just about adequate when it comes to legroom, though making 3 people sit here will be a bit of a stretch. Headrests cannot be adjusted here and the AC vent is absent too. The hatch gets a boot space of 240 litres. It's now time to hit the bright and sunny roads of Goa in the new Tata Tiago EV. Tata Motors did not do this with the Tigor EV, but with the Tiago EV, they've launched the car in 2 different versions, 2 different battery packs. One is a smaller one is a bigger one. So on the first one, you get a lesser range, and on the bigger one, which is called the high range, you get a range of 315 kilometers. This is an ARAI certified figure. That's the variant we're driving right now. This is the one that comes in the higher trims and gets more features as well. The one with the smaller battery pack and the lesser range does not get as many features as this one. So numbers are quite decent here, around 74 bhp and 114 Newton meters. And these numbers are good enough to give you quick acceleration, or if you want to do an overtaking maneuver, you can do that quite easily with these numbers. The good thing is that you do not feel the car is going out of control because of these numbers. They're quite decent, can be managed well. and makes the car just suitable to use, especially in the urban environment. The smaller 19.2 kilowatt hour battery pack gives a peak torque figure of 110 Newton meters, which isn't bad either. You get a certified range of 255 kilometers on this one. Tiago EV also gets multiple regen modes, so depending on where you're driving, you're on the highway, you're in the city, you are in a traffic jam, you can switch between these levels to ensure a better range on the car. And then you also get a sports mode on the vehicle, so you want a more enthusiastic, more spirited drive, you can switch to the sports mode. Of course, the catch is that the range will go down faster when you're driving this car at a good speed in the sport mode. So Tata says that if you combine these two drive modes, which are city and sports, with the 4 regen levels, you get a total of 8 driving modes that you can use in different conditions depending on the requirements. What also helps in getting a slightly better range is the Z Connect app. It analyzes the driving behavior and tells you the areas where you can improve as a driver. The more time you spend with the car, the more you understand how the system works, and therefore the anxiety of using an EV goes down. Now, the Tiago has always been a small, peppy car, so the handling has never been an issue on this hatchback, and with the low center of gravity, that's the case on the EV as well. So it does give you confidence when you're driving it, even at high speeds or when you're taking corners. So that way, yes, it may not be an out-and-out driver's car, but it does not disappoint you in the way it handles on the roads. Ride quality is also at par with the petrol version, if not better. Today we've driven mostly on good roads in Goa, but the occasional bump or a speed breaker or a bad patch hasn't really bothered us while driving in this car. The Tata Tiago boasts of a 4-star safety rating from Global NCAP, so the EV as well might come across as a safe car. You also get 2 airbags, ABS with EBD and tire pressure monitoring system. The battery pack is IP67 certified and comes with a warranty of 8 years or 1,60,000 kilometers, whichever is earlier. Tata is providing many charging options with the Tiago EV. The mid-range model comes with a 3.3 kilowatt AC charger, while the high-range model also has the option of a 7.3 kilowatt AC charger, which charges the car from 10 to 100% in 3.6 hours. A 15 ampere socket takes about 8.7 hours to do the same job, while a DC fast charger goes from 10 to 80% in 58 minutes. The Tiago EV was launched starting at 8,49,000 rupees ex-showroom for the mid-range version, and the prices went up to 11,79,000 rupees for the top high-range trim. But these were applicable for the first 20,000 bookings, and the brand will announce the updated prices in January, which is when the deliveries will also begin. For now, the field is pretty much clear for the Tiago EV, as there's no direct competition for the car. But the EC3 from Citroën is coming soon, and based on what it offers, things could just get interesting. Now, if you're still thinking about buying your first electric car and still have a lot of questions in your mind like range anxiety or charging issues, or how an EV drives, the way it handles, the ride quality you get on the car because it's slightly heavier than the petrol car in case of the Tiago EV, this car addresses all your queries and concerns very nicely. You're convinced about EVs after driving this vehicle. It also doesn't cost a bomb and therefore comes across as a great alternative or a great option to use, especially in the urban chaos.